I always knew my mom didn't really want me. You see, when I was born, Mom already had 2 daughters. My older sister, Liane and Kelly. The last thing she needed was another daughter. I knew she had really wanted a baby boy. It was no surprise when I found out she was trying to replace me. But before I go on, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more crazy stories. I think I was about 4 years old when I first realized I was a disappointment to my parents. Oh, they never made me feel that way. Mom was always telling me how much she loved me, but I knew she would have loved a son more. My older sister Liane and I were having an argument when she said to me, "Why couldn't you have been a baby brother?" I thought about it, and of course it made sense. Why would they want another daughter? They already had 2. A little baby boy would have made a perfect family. After that, I tried my best to act like a boy. If Mom and Dad couldn't have their own son, then surely I could try to be one for them. I told Mom that I didn't want to wear any more pretty dresses. I only wanted to wear shorts and shirts. I played football and climbed trees. I didn't do anything that girls liked doing. I basically did whatever I could to act like a boy. My sisters thought I was weird, and they used to laugh at me. "Why do you dress like a boy?" they would tease. I just wanted to make Mom and Dad happy, but it didn't work. One day, I came home from school and Mom was sitting at the kitchen table. She told me to come and sit with her. She told me that Dad had moved out. She said that they were getting a divorce. I knew it was all my fault. If I had been a boy, then they would have been happy. So now it was just Mom, me, and my sisters. We were going to be fine. Mom seemed happier now, actually, more relaxed. It wasn't long before Mom started to go out with her friends in the evening. She wore pretty clothes and nice red lipstick. I thought she looked like a movie star. One night she was getting ready to go out, and I went into her room. I liked to watch her putting on her makeup. She looked a little nervous. "Are you okay, Mom? You look a bit anxious," I said. "I'm fine," she replied. "Actually, I'm quite excited. I'm going on a date tonight." I was shocked. I had never imagined that Mom would get a new boyfriend. I didn't want to share Mom with anyone else, but that's what I ended up doing. Mom started seeing John all the time. It wasn't long before she wanted to introduce John and his son to our family. She invited them to our house for dinner. We all sat around the table. My sisters were laughing and joking with John and his son Jake, but I hated them. I knew they just wanted a brother. Then the worst thing happened. Mom said that John and Jake were going to come and live with us. I couldn't believe it. "You will have to share a bedroom with Kelly," Mom told me. "Jake will need to have your room." Now I really didn't like them. Why should I have to give up my room for him? So Mom finally had the boy she had always wanted. I knew what I had to do. I was going to make Jake so unhappy that he would make his dad move out again. I began to plan all the mean things I could do to him. I would hide behind doors and jump out to scare him when he walked by. I would hide his socks so that he was late for school. One time I even spilt my drink all over his homework. But it didn't work. Every time I did something, he just went running to Mom and she put her arms around him and comforted him. I knew I would have to do something more drastic, so I came up with a plan to get rid of John. I walked into the kitchen one Saturday afternoon and Mom was there alone. "Mom, I have something terrible to tell you," I said. Mom looked at me worriedly. "I saw John in town and he had his arm around another woman." The color drained from Mom's face. I felt a bit guilty, but I carried on. "I think he is cheating on you," I said. That night, when John came home from work, Mom confronted him. Of course John denied everything. He told Mom that he hadn't even been into town. He definitely wasn't cheating on her. Mom believed him. I was so annoyed. I had to come up with a better plan. I was sitting in my bedroom trying to think of what else to do when Jade came in. At first I had hated not having my own room, but now Kelly and I were closer than ever before. We shared all our secrets, like the time when Kelly had a crush on a boy that lives across the road from us. I decided I would ask for Kelly's help. I told her all about my plan to get rid of John and Jake. I told her that I had been planning tricks on Jake to make him unhappy, and that I made up the whole story about John cheating. I thought she was going to help me to think of another way to get rid of him, but instead, she jumped up and ran downstairs. I couldn't believe it. Kelly told Mom and John everything. Mom called me downstairs. "Why would you make that story up?" Mom asked. "You can't do things like that." Mom put her arms around Jake. "I'm so sorry you have to go through this, Jake," she said. "Come on, we're taking you out for a treat." "You are grounded," Mom then said, looking at me. I was sent to my room. Mom, John, my sisters, and Jake all went out for dinner at a new pizza place in town. I sat in my room crying. I hated them all. They didn't want me. They had their perfect family already. Well, I didn't need them either. I was going to run away. I packed up my things in a bag and grabbed my coat. I would go and live on my own. I didn't really know where I was going to live, but I set off walking towards town. Town didn't seem so much fun at night on your own, but anything was better than living with them. I found a place under a bridge that was sheltered and put down my bag. I was going to sleep here tonight. I lay down on the cold floor. It wasn't very comfortable. I tried to sleep, but I could hear strange noises and was afraid something was going to get me. I don't know how long I lay there, but eventually I fell asleep. When I woke up, I was shivering. The morning was damp and my body ached from laying on the cold stone floor. I would have to pick somewhere better to sleep. I packed up my things in my bag and set off walking again. I didn't know which direction to go, but I thought it best to head towards the shops. I was hungry. I had brought a little money with me, so I went to the bakery. I bought some fresh bread and a cup of hot chocolate. I sat on the bench in the center of town. I munched on the bread and drank the steaming hot chocolate. When I was finished, I felt much better. I was going to look for somewhere nicer to sleep tonight. I decided I would head down to the canal. I had seen other people sleeping there sometimes. Mom called them homeless people. I suppose that's what I was now. I walked down to the canal, and as I approached, I saw a place which had blankets laid down on the floor. It looked like someone may be living there. "Hello?" I called out. I heard a rustle, and someone looked out from under a piece of cardboard. It was a girl. She looked a bit older than me. Her clothes were dirty, and her hair looked like it hadn't been brushed in a long while. "Can I sleep here tonight, please?" I asked. She didn't answer, just nodded her head. I sat down and put my bag in the corner. Well, this was going to be nice. I had a place to stay. Now I just needed a way to get some money. The money in my bag wasn't going to last forever. I jumped up. "I'm going to look for a job," I said to the girl. "Can you look after my things, please?" She nodded again. I headed back into town. I spent all day looking for a job. I went into every shop, but the answer was always the same. "No, we don't have any vacancies." I was feeling sad, but I wasn't going to give up. I was going to try again tomorrow. At least I had somewhere nice to sleep tonight. I went back to the canal, but as I went around the corner, I looked into the place where the girl had been staying. There was nothing there. The blankets had gone, the cardboard was gone. Where was my bag? I looked around frantically, but it wasn't there. She had stolen my bag with my last bit of money. Now I had nothing. I sat down on the floor and wondered what I should do. I was so hungry. I would have to go back into town to see if I could get some food from somewhere. I went down the main street and headed to where all the cafes and restaurants were. Surely someone would give me something to eat. I asked if I could get something to eat, but as soon as they found out I didn't have any money, they told me to leave. I had almost given up hope when I reached the last place. It was a big diner. I went inside. I was just about to ask the waitress if she would give me any food when I heard a voice I recognized. I looked up to see Mom's face on the huge TV on the wall. The presenter was explaining that Mom was there to make an appeal. He said that her daughter had run away from home. Then Mom started speaking. "We just want our daughter to come back," she said. Then she showed a photograph of me. "If you see my daughter, tell her to come home," she said. I turned around. I was just about to run out the door when a customer looked at me and then looked back at the TV. "That's you, isn't it?" I nodded. "Come and sit here. Are you hungry?" "Yes, I am," I replied. She ordered a burger and chips for me and got out her phone. "I have to call the police," she said. About 10 minutes later, the police arrived. "Come on, young lady," they said. "We're taking you home." I finished off my burger and got into the police car. As they drove me home, they asked me why I had run away. I told them all about how I should have been born a boy. We pulled up outside my house. Before I had a chance to open the car door, Mom came running out of the house. She pulled me to her and put her arms around me. "Thank God you are safe," she said. "Why did you run away?" "I know you don't want me because I'm not a boy," I cried. "I don't want you to be a boy, silly," said Mom. "We love you just the way you are." John, Jake, and my sisters came out then. "We missed you," they all said. I knew then that everything was going to be okay.